Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Spoken Threads. As usual, I'm joined by my beautiful ladies, Tato.
Nomfundo.
Today, we're going to talk about another serious topic. In one of our earlier conversations or discussions, we spoke about the limitations of how parents overextend in allowing children to go a little bit too far. It could be a situation of a single mom maybe having had the child too early, or a single mom, or in a nucleus family where things have gone wrong, and to compensate, whether they've just gone through a divorce or whether there's been a loss, or for whatever reason, the parent feels so back to a wall and they want to give their child so much love and affection that it goes south.
And it could be a single dad. So I
could
need
be
to
a single
point that
dad.
out, 'cause I
Single
don't wanna-
dad person. Sorry.
Or
thank you.
grandparents for that
Grandparents.
Yeah.
And it becomes detrimental, both for the parent, be it a mom, a dad, grandparents involved in raising the child, to the point where the child starts getting into drugs. And today it's really easy. It starts with the hubbly bubbly. What do you call them?
Vaping.
And we recently, I think it's not so recently anymore, maybe 5-6 years ago, we had some young boys come through from a rehab center to give us insights into how did it all start, where did it go wrong, where did the wheels go off, right? And it starts innocently. Most of the boys that actually stood up and shared their stories, it started very innocently, and predominantly it was boys that came through from the rehab center. Very little young women that came through, or girls that came through, which is also a different question to ask for, and a different topic for another day. But most of them said, it's trying to fit in, trying to be cool, trying to get away, trying to escape. And the one question one of our seniors asked was, but where was your mom, dad, parents, guardians in the whole scenario, and how did they react, and how did they do, and where are they now, because you've ended up here? What are your ladies' thoughts and ideas on this?
Yeah, it's a very sad situation because, I don't know what makes people go and become drug addicts or become taking drugs. But I do, what you said makes sense about the peer pressure, the fitting in, perhaps mental issues that they're trying to drown in narcotics or whatever it is. But the sad reality is that it's happening in all our communities. Right? Whether you are living in an informal settlement or living in the suburbs of
Doesn't matter.
it's still affecting everyone. And not only the family itself, but it's affecting the neighborhoods, because that person will do anything to get their hands on
the next fix.
drugs. And so, in some instances, yes, you find that the parents have spoiled or given in, or were not there to see that this child is getting into drugs. Whether it's a single parent that's working a lot and is never at home, doing working nights, working day shifts. You don't know what's happening.
Going away a lot for work purposes.
One person, you know what's happening. So it could be any situation. And I think that it's just making sure that as parents, we are alert to what's happening with our children. It starts with that, and teaching them at a young age. It's never too early. It's never too early to teach a child to say no to drugs. If someone gives you something that you're not comfortable with, teaching them how to be strong-willed and be grounded in their beliefs and not falling for peer pressure, as you mentioned that some of them are falling for peer pressure. So it is a sad situation. I think that there is something that as parents at the very early stages, we can have a positive impact on those children and not allow them to go astray. Yeah.
For me, the reasons are multi-layered. As adults, we are dealing with a lot of things, especially parents our age, where you're either in your late 40s, late 30s or whatever the case is, because one, you're trying to parent how you weren't parented, you're trying to do better.
Yes.
Two, you're plagued with modern day living of either being in the middle class or whatever, just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Electricity costs are going up, medical aid, you name it.
Petrol.
The list, exactly. The list is so long that either you possibly end up overworking, as we said, and indirectly neglecting your children, or you're doing the right thing, but someone else or a group of people, whether it be on social media, if you're not monitoring your kids' TikTok or any other social media platform, or the company that they keep at school. Yes, you'll teach your child that don't hang out with this kind of child because of these reasons, but when you get to school, when they get to school, it's completely out of your control. And also the school that they go to as well. I mean, if they go to a school that is a quintile 1-2 school, where, I mean, drugs are done everywhere. It doesn't matter what school you go to, right? But some of the schools in the area are known to have massive drug problems. We will not name or shame these schools, but I think our viewers know what I'm talking about, where sometimes as a parent, you teach them, you remind them all the time, but once they're out there for 6-7 hours in the school, you hope that their conscience will be trained enough for them to remember to say no. Because sometimes, as you say, they give into peer pressure, saying, yes, I remember what I've been told, but however, I am this popular child in school, and I want to retain my position of power. So unfortunately, it's a cool thing. So I'm going to start vaping secretly just to retain my social, my circle,
My social status,
or whatever the case is. So there's a lot of reasons that kids go into drugs, or parents don't pick it up. Even if you do, it's like, you know, when you an adult and you get to a certain age where your stomach is giving you problems, you avoid it or delay addressing it because you don't want bad news. Sometimes it does happen like that, where the parent can pick up that, you know what,
you
my child is
suspect,
but you hope that I'm going to avoid it and hope that there's nothing, because like I say, we are just going through a lot of things, but that does not excuse you from not being present.
I think in a lot of instances also, maybe some of it, to a certain extent, is a pacification. Same like with, you suspect something is wrong, you're not 100% sure, but you're also afraid to now broach the subject as a parent, because you want to keep the peace. Especially during those difficult phases. Teenage phase is it's crap, guys. I'm just going to say it out loud as it is. It's not a nice phase for children to go through. Their hormones, they themselves don't know whether they're Arthur, Martha, or Bill. It is what it is, right? And sometimes to a certain extent, as a parent, you do try as hard as you can, okay, to pacify certain things. You try and keep the peace, you give them what they want, and sometimes these things are not what they need as a parent. So it's important for us to also step back and assess the situation. Is it something the person needs? And I think to remind yourselves of the relationship, you're the parent and not the friend. Because I think also a lot of us fall in that trap. You want to be the cool mom or the cool dad or the cool granny or the cool uncle or whichever role you play for the child. It could be detrimental at the end of the day, not having that crucial conversation, critical conversation with the child, and be like, hey, I'm seeing some tendencies, some behaviors, calling it out, calling a spade, and saying, I found this in your room. I wasn't snooping. I wasn't looking.
I was snooping because this is my house.
I found it.
This is my house.
I found it. What is it? You know, what are we dealing with here? Because I think as much as we want to trust as parents that we've instilled the right values, and our children's personalities are strong and strong enough to be able to deal and weather what they're being faced with. Their Goliaths are 10 times bigger than what ours were when we were at school. And it's a reality.
And this whole gentle parenting thing, where you don't want to be, doing the same things that your parents are doing. And then you want to trust, you want to say, no, I trust my job. And there are certain, this is where your gut will tell you that things are not right, and you have to address it. because especially in the early stages, because it
Mm.
comes to a point where
Mm.
it might be maybe too late, or
Mm.
it's gone
Mm.
overboard and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like it as or don't like it. Okay, I know I didn't like it
Mm.
when my mother used to say, "I've got the spidey sense. I can see
Yeah.
and I can sense things are off." I hated it to
Mm.
my inner core
Mm.
until I had my own children,
And then,
and
yeah.
then I knew
Yeah.
instinctively when
Correct.
something is
Yeah.
wrong.
Mm.
And as a parent, you have that.
Mm.
I want
Yeah.
to say, use it.
Mm.
Use it
Yeah.
at the right time, at the right moment when you feel that alert go off.
Mm.
You like Spider-Man.
Mm.
Call that young person to order
Yeah.
and be like, hey, let's
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah.
Because the last thing any of us want, I think, in any of our communities, being in the
Correct.
suburbs,
Yeah.
being where we come from, none of us want to see our children go down that path.
Yeah. So true. I like what you mentioned earlier on about some of our kids having a strong personality.
Mm.
Sometimes you catch the problem where it really is now a serious problem,
Mm.
and you're faced with, I can't kick my child out of my house
Mm.
because either what are people going to say, or
Mm.
where is the child going to
Mm.
go to? I'd rather have them still do whatever it is that they're doing, either alcohol abuse or drugs.
Mm.
So it's always a thin line. And like I say, that we are going through so many things that in some cases, other parents, guardians, grandparents allow to say, I will even give you an allowance.
Mm.
Just don't take anything out of the home,
Mm.
and don't go breaking into my neighbors'
Other-
homes
oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So it really
It's a
is
real thing.
a tough one.
Yeah.
Mm.
So how do we make sure also to make sure that our kids are held accountable?
Yeah.
You know really
Yeah.
the difference between right or wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't matter your age, because at 7 years old, you know.
You do.
Yeah.
You know.
You know.
Yes, the
You know.
degrees vary,
Yeah,
right?
but you know.
But you know.
You know.
And all of us come from families where we are trained, whether it's through religion, society, but we all have those basic values of do not steal.
Yeah.
So therefore, the right or wrong comes in where you
Yeah.
can't walk into a Woolies and take a chocolate without paying for it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Well, that doesn't belong to you.
correct.
Yeah.
When do we get to a point where now we're holding the kids accountable? I always say to my children,
Mm.
I am this old. There is very little I can do to mess up my life. You
Yeah.
can still mess it up,
Yeah.
but very
Yeah,
slim
it's like-
chance.
yeah.
You have your whole future ahead of you.
Mm.
And if you mess it up, yes, of course, I'll be sad as a parent,
Mm.
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
But I would have done what I could to make sure that you don't.
Yeah.
Correct.
But if you go on a path of no return,
Yeah.
that's your bed. I know
Yeah.
it sounds very harsh.
Yeah.
You must sleep in it.
Yes,
Mm.
correct. And
Same.
no one's coming to save you.
Yeah.
Because I would have tried to prevent you from saving you
Yeah.
by teaching you.
The right way.
I've
Correct.
got a saying for that with
Yeah.
the children.
Mm.
Yeah.
Life is on play.
Mm.
There's no backseas. There's no
Yeah.
rewind. There's
Yeah.
no
I
pause.
love it. Yeah.
There's no fast
Oh,
forward.
Yeah.
You're on play
Yeah.
all the
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So when you mess up
Yeah.
or when you hit a speed bump,
Mm.
we're there as parents.
Yeah.
But we can't.
Yeah.
There's certain things that we
You
can't
can't
do.
pause. You can't,
Correct.
can't
Yeah.
pause.
You
Yeah.
can't rewind it.
You
can't
Okay,
rewind.
let's do it again.
You
Yeah.
can't go back.
Yeah.
You can't fix it.
Yeah.
We can try
Mhm.
Going
and
forward.
going forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's no going back.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's powerful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Guys, so we'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Please like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what you think. Until we see each other next time, goodbye.
Bye.